I think we often underestimate what a photograph can hold. Not just an image, but a story, a silence, sometimes even a shift in how we see the world. In this episode, I speak with someone who has spent years exploring that space between the frame and the feeling. He's not just a photographer, he's someone who deeply listens before he clicks the shutter button. His work feels honest, sometimes raw, sometimes gentle, but always real. We spoke about perception, storytelling, the role of memory, and what it means to create something meaningful. This conversation is about seeing people not just through the lens of judgment and expectation, but with curiosity and care. This is episode number 16 with a photographer, Mr. Srinath. First, a formal introduction Anna, for the podcast. Hi.
Hi. Uh,
So I've been following you on the photographic journey, and I have connected to a couple of photography. One is portraits, because of this woman, confident, intimate, independent woman. That,
mm,
and then Parsi contemporary.
yes.
I liked it.
Mm. So that is the first project I took up after, the first personal project I took up after the pandemic. So when I shifted to Bombay, I was always fascinated by the colors, the rich history that these Parsis hold on to. So I thought, why not start a series? So when I came across a documentary, I first learned, okay, there is a Gara artist named Zenobia Davar. So it started with her actually. So she introduced me to the what to say. She is like the starting point for my entry into the Parsi culture, I would say. So she taught me. She told a lot of stories about how they came, who are their ancestors, so on and so forth. And from there on, I documented over some 12 to 15 families so far. And then eventually I moved out of Bombay and uh, yeah, the project is still on, but I'm still looking out for more families to participate. So that is like that's still an ongoing project for me.
So tell me your background. Where are you from exactly?
I am from a place, Tiruvannamalai. You must have heard about it. Tiruvannamalai,
Arunachalam.
yeah, in Tamil Nadu.
Yes,
So
yes.
I, yeah, right from my great grandfather, we are there. So um, yeah, then I did my schooling in Tiruvannamalai, and then I moved on to do my mechanical engineering from SRM University, and
Acha.
then I did my pipeline engineering from UPES Dehradun. Um, and yeah, then I worked in the industry for 5 years. Like, and one fine day, I thought of getting into photography full time. And yeah, when I got in there, that's when British Council came and they offered me a full fee scholarship to study in the UK. So I
Okay.
studied commercial photography from a university called AUB, Arch University Bournemouth, and I did my own freelancing thing for the next 3 years from there, and then I came back just before the pandemic came to an end. I came back to India, and yeah, uh, from there on, we had our first conversation.
So pipeline photography, what is it? Sorry,
No, no,
pipeline engineering, sorry.
Eric. See, pipeline engineering is all about construction of pipelines, gas. I specialized in gas pipelines. So the gas that reaches homes, the gas that reaches CNG station. So I specialized in that.
Okay, so it's a big engineering, of course. So you have to take gas cannot have a small leak anywhere, right? So it should
Yeah.
be very complex concept probably.
It was a complex concept with
Mm.
engineering tools and softwares and all this AI coming in. I think it is much more safer now.
Safe,
So we
safe.
have the right tools, we have the right softwares to calculate the gas in pipeline, how much it's being consumed, like how much of gas is being taken from the input, from the inlet source and all. So I think it is much safer now.
And then Tiruvannamalai, I have a story. So I crossed Tamil Nadu from Vellore to Tiruvannamalai, then went to Rameshwaram, back to Madurai, and then Kovilpatti, and then Kanyakumari. This was my route in Tamil Nadu. So in Tiruvannamalai that night, so this Giri Parikrama is there, na? People walk around the hill,
Mm-hmm.
and then so that night after I stayed somewhere in Tiruvannamalai. After visiting the temple, I came back. While I was crossing, I mean walking on this footpath, suddenly there were these guys who were selling the shells of seashells, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped by, I was talking to that guy, and then suddenly one guy who is into Indian Army, he is like colonel or big cadre. He is passing through, and then he spoke. And then I said about I am on bicycle. He asked me actually, and I said I am on bicycle. And I said like, okay, and then the talk went into climbing. So he said, nah, for you need a lot of determination, motivation to do climbing. For me, just one order. I will have to climb Everest or even higher.
Oh,
This this happened in Tiruvannamalai.
okay. Hmm.
I remember that day because of that. It's a very subtle, simple, impactful dialogue. Offstage stories. I want to know more about offstage stories and the people in that documentary.
Okay, so uh, when I was walking, I met a family when I was in London. So I met a burlesque dancer, and her husband is a magician, right? So they call themselves like entertainers. So that's the kind of entertainment they do to the public over there. So they have their piece of journey. Like this guy came from nowhere, and he turned into a magician, and her journey, she starts off as a model and then she turns into a burlesque dancer. So I mean, I just wanted to document their journey. Like the whole concept was the one liner which I told them was, I need to tell the world your unsaid stories. So that's the one line which I told them, and they narrated the whole story, and then a film was made on that.
So, did you get any personal connection while talking to them with?
Their experiences, but I couldn't relate to most of it because I haven't personally experienced something of that sort. But yeah, it's their journey. Maybe not right away, but some point in my life, I might find some connections.
I liked it because of the concept,
Yes.
because of the struggle behind their, finding or working on what they love. It's there. There was some deep meaning. That's what I have found in that guy, especially the magician.
Huh. I mean, see, all these people, I mean, everything is very well connected to World War II still, even now in UK, right? Like, if you look at these things, I mean, their parents were deeply disturbed because of the war, right? Uh, um, I mean, a major development couldn't happen in their lives, right? So this is the first generation which is actually enjoying to some extent.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, whomsoever I met, everything is very deeply connected to World War II, even today. So this is their story. I mean, not many actually appreciate the behind the scenes of what they go through in their day-to-day lives. And yeah, that's exactly what I really wanted to focus on.
Yeah, it was nice. It is actually nice. Even today, I watched it again couple of times. Uh, Day before yesterday, it was good. I mean, I got connected to it. So,
Hmm.
and what you see when, so there are different types of, there are many categories of photography, the styles of photographs pictures you take.
Hmm.
So, what do you see when open a camera and then see through the lens?
Actually, yeah, I mean, there is a big shift which happened. There was a time when I was just looking through the viewfinder to see what looks good and what doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Right. So as I aged, I mean, as I grew in that particular field, things change. I don't see through my camera anymore. I just use it as a tool to capture. That's it. Right.
Hmm.
It's just your observation and how you perceive whatever you observe. Right. As a person, that is more important. And another major challenge is I need to put a stop on my past memories and knowledge that I've gained so far. Like, I need to understand the situation without having any biases. Right. So, that is what I'm currently working on. Right. To understand things as it is, to have a better understanding of what I actually perceive and what it is actually, whether am I able to create a connect without talking to them. So, those are certain things which I'm exploring right now.
I mean, so when you take any photo, see, normally we all take photographs, but the real there are some good professionally taken, or so something you want to convey through that picture. So do you see with that eye, or is just like you just want to make good pictures? So there is a good picture, there is a meaningful picture. There is a difference, no? That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm actually transitioning from a good photograph to a meaningful photograph, right?
Okay.
So the very first thing, it was all like the westernization and commercialization impressed me a lot. So when I was
Yeah.
in advertising and commercial, so every detail was looked upon, every spec was looked upon, right? I mean, I slowly lost my connect with that, right? Then I actually shifted to what does it mean? When I started moving towards that thing, then I developed a great perception, right? I'm still in the development stage. There is a new perception, especially in a country like India. Every 10-15 kilometers you travel, your perception changes, right? For example, in Bangalore, you move towards a place called Bidadi, your whole perception of Karnataka changes in a minute. Right, from Bidadi you go to I mean, you go to any other place like Channapatna or Chikmagalur, again the whole perception changes. Right,
Yes.
so this is just about one state I'm talking about. So every 20-25 kilometers, even today, there is a shift in perspective. So imagine the vastness of perspectives our ancestors had before all this homogenization and globalization on so many things. There was a perception at every level, right? So that is exactly what I am actually trying to bring into myself before even using the camera, right? So once you perceive a thing, then probably the way you look at things will be different. Then automatically you're going to capture that thing, right? So it's basically the perception which needs to be enhanced. How do you understand or absorb a particular situation without letting your memory play a major role in it?
Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
exactly where, I mean, which is actually very important as a photographer.
Yes. Even I started, I want to make movies, so I bought a digital camera, and then later, after purchasing the camera, I understood that I took a very bad decision of purchasing a big camera. This is what happens, right? And after that, I never perceived or never focused on photography, but yes.
Some time or the other, I mean, it will
It's
happen.
most of the things now when you see expectation reality basis. So understanding the expectation reality basis, because that's bad judgment call, we'll have to suffer a lot.
No, actually, I mean, this reminds me of something. Like, it's actually not a bad decision. You're preparing yourself for something, right?
Yes.
In future, it might come into use. You never know. Like, it shouldn't be like tomorrow I have a situation and I'm not prepared for it. That's
Yeah.
that's 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 even more painful.
Yeah. So in photography, oh, you get like how people approach you for taking photographs, or you will go to them, and then
No,
is
yeah,
it paid job, or is it just out of passion?
it's a two-way process, right? So I like I mean, again, it comes back to perception. Like, I like a perspective about some person, like by going through their social media handles. So if I like, then I mean, I initiate the dialogue. Then if they are fine with it, then it happens. It's also the other way, like just like I have perceptions, people also have perceptions, right? So if they find a connect with me, they send a message. Like for the Parsi contemporary, there were what to say, they were volunteers and there were referrals happening. Okay, one family referred to another family referred to another family, right? So that sort of a thing happens. And I do a lot of personal projects, uh, because that's where exactly I can experiment. So this indirectly boosts my commercial practice as well, right? When I go sit in front of my client and say these are some of my trial works, right? See if you can adapt any of these things. That would be great.
And what kind of lighting you will use for like is it natural light, or do you have a specific
It's a
equipment?
blend actually, Venkat. I use purely natural light, and then I use a blend of natural as well as artificial. Then I get into a completely studio zone where we replicate everything artificially, or we replicate. I mean, not artificially. I would say we replicate the the situation that we really want.
And how do you control the warmth and tint and exposure, and how you manage on technical side?
In technical terms, I think this comes with a lot of practice actually. So
Also,
coming with the light, you need to be very careful as to what to expose and what not to expose. This is the first challenge, right?
yes.
Coming to tint, every color evokes an emotion. So you should be very careful as to which color is emoting what. You need to have some basic understanding of what the color theory is, right?
Hmm.
So I have a good understanding on color theory, but do I really follow it? The answer is no.
Yeah.
Because the more technicality I get into, the more perception I lose. So, like, I draw a line. Okay, technicality should play only this much, right? And we finish up with that. And when it comes to like the other technicals, it's like you should know how the camera connects to the other lights. You should know how the camera functions. You should understand how much the camera can focus. You should understand what are the limitations of this particular camera. So those are some technicalities that I look into. But over the years, like I've become less. Initially I was like 99% a technical guy and a 1% photographer. Now slowly that thing has gone to like 99% photographer and 1% technicality. So I just know what my camera does. Like it's just like driving a car. I know what an accelerator does. I know what a brake does. That is all I've limited myself to right now. The other things I'm focusing only on the technicalities that gets into making of an image, right? So, how do I develop my perception? How do I develop an understanding? How do I absorb their perspectives? How do I get into the issue? How do I see their perspective? So, these are the technicalities which I actually look into, right? So, the technicalities which was equipment based has turned into human based. So, yeah, this is how I've evolved, I would say.
And other than like the photography is your passion, you are pursuing it parallelly. So what is your profession
No, I am into photography full time.
full time?
Yes.
Okay.
I teach also photography.
On your website, you mentioned educator also. That's why.
Yes, that's exactly. I teach photography. I teach data visualization, which is attached to it, and I also teach information design. And this is all about navigating your own perceptions, right? So this is exactly what I do. If you
Data
say,
visualization.
huh?
Data visualization. What is it?
Data visualization. It's all about decoding a particular data. It could be visual data. It could be like mathematical data. It could be any data, right? How do we build something out of it? Just like what we do in photography.
A little more detail, please, about data visualization. I didn't understand.
I'll come with an example. For example, one of my students, I'll give a live example. So one of my students wanted to build build a chart for photographers, right? So what all data gets into it? So we say like photography, and we circle about the genres which are present, right? For those particular genres, she wanted to create what all equipments is a must need. Then we go about like what all situations can this be like, right? So this is the kind of data visualization which I actually work upon.
Okay.
Like the cheat sheets which you see, like, okay, this is the aperture, you get this. This is the shutter speed. This is what the effect will be like. So we decode all the technicalities in terms of, say, a design.
Okay. Data visualization. And there is other term you said. I missed it.
Information design. So information
Information.
design, the aspect which information design, data visualize, all these things are very really vast. So what I'm working on information design is like how do one navigate his own mindset? What Who is the person as such? What all influences him? How does he go about find his niche? What is his future idea, right, about whatever field that he chooses? So, we present all of these information in terms of visuals.
It's basically streamlining. I mean,
I think
big amount of data.
thought mapping.
Thought mapping. Yes, yes. like what you say, it's very, I mean, simplifying the complex concepts.
Yeah, understanding oneself is the most complex thing. If
Yes.
that is simplified, I think any problem in the world can be like
And
simplified.
yeah. And what about, see, these are these infomercial, documercials and
Okay.
advertorial photographies. What are
Yeah,
this?
so this I picked up these terms when I was in UK. In 2019, I think that was the most transformative phase in my photography journey. Like I was liking what I am doing, but I wasn't fully satisfied with what I was doing. I s- I I didn't see any art coming out of my work. I mean, it was all good. I mean, it got into billboards. It was looking nice. All of these things were okay, but there was no art element in it. So that's when, after a lot of search, after going through a lot of museums and galleries in UK and Europe, then I realized, okay, why don't we pick up something painterly? But again, when I went and researched, a lot of people have already done that, explored that particular aspect. But how do I put it to? I mean, how do I put it? I mean, because I was working a lot with artisans, I didn't know like how do I translate it. I mean, I want those people, their faces to come out to the public. But that's when the whole idea came, like, okay, I'll take up a painterly approach. Let's see how this works. And how do I make it commercial? So that's when a lot of advertorial, which is like advertising plus editorial. Documercial is nothing but documentary plus commercial. So these are the four terms which I really want to combine in all my pictures. So the picture should be artful enough, but at the same time, it should also be like sellable.
Satisfaction. Do you get satisfaction when you
Uh,
finish a job?
yeah, I think
Uh,
it's a journey. It won't reflect immediately if, for anyone. It's going to take some time. So I think giving it some time, like, yeah, I mean, this comes. I mean, I'm getting this revelation now. Okay, giving it some time actually works.
and the completeness, this photograph. Okay, this is the final photograph. Okay,
No,
this is complete.
see
I
that not
got my picture. Did you get that one?
no. I mean that actually doesn't happen. But you need to draw a line somewhere, right? So that never happens because the story will continue. Like I photograph, let's say I'm photographing a farmer. The story doesn't end there within my
Yeah.
photograph. I mean, the story is going to continue till he lives, right? So, I mean, it's a small conclusion, that's it. So, its completedness, the answer is no. It's not complete because I'm not focusing on all the facets of his life. I mean, so far, to this point, when I'm photographing, am I photographing all the aspects of his life? Yes. But moving forward, where is it? So I don't think that completeness is there actually.
We have to conclude it. So we have to satisfy with the decision that okay, this is ready.
The story is, I've completed the story till this point. I'm happy. What's after this? That needs to be
What is the difference in UK and India?
see, opportunities are plenty in both places. I don't see a great shift in mindset when I moved from here to UK and from when I came back. So the photographers, people think the same, right? Even there, the average photographers just go by what's happening right now, right? And the visionaries, they think differently. They go ahead, they make a vision statement all of their own. Like in India, sadly, like there is a lot of social media attracting photographers only, right? Visionary photographers are like very few. Yeah, they make a vision statement. That's what a photographer should actually do.
And what are the next projects in pipeline right now? Do you have any?
Uh, the next project, I'm working on a poster right now, right?
What is it?
It's poster. I'm working on a poster. I've written a research paper. Yeah, I've sort of completed writing a research paper like on perceptions and photography. So I want to convert that into a great poster and see what the outcome is.
So see, because the technical detailing matters, but as an artist, as you have to see through with a different eye to understand and to bring out
Hmm.
the exactness or expectation.
Again, I think it is a process, the love starts with technicality. Uh, an artist, I mean, you can look at any great artist. They would have started off their career as a technician, right? And then they would have added a lot of art element into the process. Because being a technician is very important because you understand the limitations and the possibilities of whatever equipment that you're really working or whatever tool you're really working with. Then the art factor comes, like what do you make out of it? That's where I mean that's when the artist is born. So I think an artist should also be like technically able to understand what his tools can actually do.
What is your equipment or what camera you are using?
I
What,
use 77D for all my commercial works, and
which one?
mostly, I mean, 7070 Canon. Yes, and I mean, off late I've shifted a lot to my iPhone. This thing, so I'm just exploring the camera in iPhone. But it also takes I mean, it also takes great portrait photographs.
Do you remember the very first photograph you have? Like, okay, now, okay, I think I can start taking, as I can start my career as a photographer. So there should be a turning point, right? Where it exactly started.
No, the turning point came way before I even knew a camera can do so many things. I think that was the very first scene. I think it's Discovery Channel where I saw I think a shark or some sort of a big fish. I saw it like, okay, a camera can actually do, but I never knew what exactly a camera was back then. Okay, something can record. I want to do this. So that was the starting point. So the revelation came way before I even knew what a camera was.
What kind of impact actually created in your life when you decided? Because the career, choosing what kind of career, see, all this matters, right? See, because we live in, we were brought up in India, and then we have, mm, there is a formula how we
Hmm.
design our careers.
I mean, I didn't fall in that net.
So,
But honestly, I never felt the pressure of it. I just wanted to do it. That's it. There was no other thought process which was happening.
is it this business? Is it, I mean, this not business, this field you are working on, is it lucrative
If
or
you develop your
underpaid?
perspective, if you develop your perspective, it's lucrative.
Okay.
If you see certain things what most people fail to see, then you are a good person. I mean, then you are a good photographer.
Any embarrassments like insults happened during this journey? When you take up a project, you see in a different eye, and the guy
Again,
who
that
hired you.
no, again, that is a journey. Most of my clients, okay, when I was in my engineering, I mean, when I was working as an engineer in the sales and marketing, so I mean, I had a person named Umesh Vek who mentored me to a greater extent. So he says, like, you need to educate your client, right? So that thing struck very deep in me. Like, even before me showing me my portfolio, I just tell them this is the way I work. This is the output that you'll get. I help them visualize how their products are. I mean, I help them visualize their own products and the outcome which is associated with it. Then I go about. This is how I educate. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it doesn't work. Later on, it goes and works. So it's for the good. Yeah, I mean, I used to get disturbed when there were disagreements. I think a person grows out naturally.
This field, people have a lot of egos. Okay, I want this. Why are you doing this? This kind of questions will rise, na, normally.
No, that's where you as a photographer should actually climb up. You need to tell them the reality. See, the client may have they want to build a Taj Mahal, but what they have is like just like some thousand bricks left with them. You need to tell them this is what you can build with thousand bricks. So you need to see how what beautifully can be done out of that thousand bricks. That's how you start a journey with them. See, ultimately the client grows, you grow, the client grow. See, it's a process. And
this is
probably there were situations where the outcome really didn't work for both of us.
yeah.
Right. After 6 months, it worked. In the meantime, we didn't, I mean, there was no ego in it. There was like, okay, my viewpoints don't work, your viewpoints don't work, but we don't kill each other. Right. We give them the space. Okay. At some point, I understand his perspective. Okay. Some of the other situations somewhere else might have happened. Right. So that will give you, okay, this is the experience that he was trying to share, and I was not able to understand that. So slowly, we develop an understanding, and then there's a shift in perspective.
Any giving up ideas in the so during this journey,
I
we
gave up
all
my
go
engineering.
through this
No,
now
I gave up my
down
engineering.
low side of it, and then okay, it's not working out. What's happening? That kind of thought process, and
No, nothing of that. This is the only thing which I really wanted to do badly. Like,
uh,
I gave up engineering because of this. Like, I think that's okay. I mean, you don't give up certain things.
of course, a downside will be there. Na? Sometimes it's not
The
working out.
downside is giving up.
Yeah. So you don't have that. So you are always on the safe side.
I
Cool.
mean, a thought never occurred actually.
Okay.
I was always, to be very honest, I was always engrossed in very old magazines and newspapers. I saw, okay, these people have done without any technology with just a film. They were able to tell so much of story in one frame, right? Why? I mean, how can I tell that? So that thing always kept me moving, I think.
And what is the definition of success here?
I mean, there is no, I mean, you get what you want, that is success. You don't
Uh,
get what you want, that is not success. I think it's quite difficult to frame it in this line. Right. I mean, it's success is well measured when it comes to monetary or some other material terms. I don't know how to term it when it comes to satisfaction or at the art level. Right?
So
Have you
success
had?
is not related to how much money you have. Like monetarily successful does it mean success?
Okay. In that case, if you want me to measure it, like how much of the story was I able to express? Right. For example, I'm photographing any person. Am I able to like put across 100% of what they have in their heart and mind? I mean, if I can do it, then I'm successful. If I'm not, then the photograph might look good, but I mean, there won't be an internal success factor which will be talking to me, right? Okay, it worked. I was lucky. That's it.
So basically it's very one line, what do you say? Salvation lies within.
Problem here is like, I mean, we seek validation, right? So that is not success, right? I don't want 100 people to resonate with my work, but I
Mm.
want one person, one true person to resonate with my work. Then it becomes a first step, right? You clear the first step. Then you go to, I mean, that's one reason why perceptions are very important, you know. At every level, you perceive things at a different step. Then, and success is when you're able to translate all those perceptions in terms of images, then it is success. But 100% it won't happen.
Yeah.
Trust me, even if I cover 10% of what I perceive, you know, it's a great achievement for me. So what happens is, for example, I'm photographing a bird, right? You have no control over what the bird is next going to behave like, right? So I click a picture and then I imagine, okay, what if the wings are like one wing is on top and one leg is on top? Is that going to happen? I mean, it doesn't work like that, right? It's going to do its own way. You need to figure out, like, you need to go behind it and get whatever you want.
So what do you work for developing your skill every day? Like what are you learning now on photography?
Understand various perspectives, how each culture varies, how every person thinks. I mean, I listen to a lot of Deepak Chopra's talk. I think he's a neuroscientist, alternative medicine advocate, and an Indian American author.
Alternative medicine. Yeah, yeah.
Alternative medicine advocate. But he
Mm.
largely speaks about the capabilities of mind.
Yeah. So basically, my primary idea of starting this podcast is to talk to people who, the way you say, you said artistic visualization. So you don't want to be a photographer, like just clicking photos. You want to be an artist. So to understand the mind of such people is my underlying thought process behind starting this podcast. So uh, because that's where introspection actually works.
Yes.
And then I get to speak to very remarkable, versatile people. So this is my focus, and this is my 16th podcast.
Oh, that's great.
With you, it's the 16th one, and I don't know whether I have actually got what I want to ask from you, but yes, I think so. So when I reach 100,000 subscribers, then we'll talk more
Definitely.
prepared, more intense.
More big and more wise.
Yes, more wise.
Yeah. So thank you, Venkat. I mean, I think the initiative that you've taken is a very good one, which is much needed for the generations to come. Because with the level of automation which is going around, it's scary at some point that the human race will actually lose its the core value of why they are humans.
We'll see. I'm working on that. So this is also part of, like, it's like climbing a tougher mountain than Mount Everest.
Yeah. So we'll be in touch, and all the best
See,
for your for your upcoming podcast.
so I'll see. Now I think I'm a little like 0.01% wiser than before. So I'll see if we can. I have ideas about travel
Mm.
because now I have seen this country, and I'm proud that nobody has seen India what I have saw. I saw actually.
Yeah.
So there are places in the Northeast where I want to explore and I want to visualize, document it. So I will come back to you definitely one day, very soon probably.
Okay.
So I want to go to these places, especially in the Northeast, Arunachal, some parts of Arunachal, and then some parts of Assam, Manipur jungles,
Okay.
Nagaland landscapes, and then Tripura. These are some still they say they people say that Northeast is backward, neglected. No, they are organic,
Reserved.
preserved. So uh, so I have some ideas. So when I completely put it on paper, and then once I get the real clarity about it, I will contact you, and then we can
Sure.
go on quite a
Anytime.
good of an adventure, and then probably we'll try to make one nice story out of it.
Sure. Anytime.
On this note, thanks a lot for bearing with me on this
Thanks, Venkat.
long
It was an absolute
time,
pleasure.
and then we'll keep in touch.
Definitely, Venkat. Take care.
Thanks for watching. If this conversation made you pause or simply made you see things a little differently, I wish you to stick around. Hit the subscribe button. The links are given below, and stay tuned for more inspiring journeys, honest stories from artists, adventurers, and everyday humans doing extraordinary things. I'll see you in the next one.